I posted a video of me running a 40-yard dash, and multiple NFL guys have reached out since. And this begs the question, could I play in the NFL? Now, at 6'3", 330 pounds, there's only so many positions available to me, and that is defensive tackle, offensive guard, and center. Now, I have essentially done an entire NFL combine over the course of the last 18 months, and I'm here to share with you where my results will land with those three positions in the 2024 NFL combine, and I'll let you guys make the decision. Could I play in the NFL? I'm going to come to my own conclusion as well. Spoiler alert, I think I could, but there's a lot of caveats to it. So let's dive right in. I've played so many sports in the past, and I feel like that's why I am so versatile when it comes to strongman, and I think I could transition to another sport relatively easily. And this has been proven before. A guy named Jordan Mailata, funny enough, one of Eddie Williams, another professional strongman, his best friend, played rugby, transitioned over to the NFL, and became one of the best tackles in the league for the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles in only the span of a few short years. Now, what tests have I done? Let's get into it. First of all, 40-yard dash. This video went really well on short form and spurred this longer form video. I ran a 5.07 40-yard dash. Now, caveat, I did this in running shoes with one warm-up run and with no training. Now, I had people comment in the comment section who are sprint coaches who say that I could get to the high 4.7s or low 4.8s with a bit of training. So let's go over some of that 40-yard dash footage, and you can decide for yourself how that looks.
Goal, ultimate goal, sub 5 would be amazing. I don't know how diluted I am or how accurate that might be. I just don't want to tweak anything, but we'll see. I think I can. We'll do a couple of goes. I'll go at like 80%, 90%, and we'll sort of suss it out. But what better place to do it than the football weight room of the Texas Longhorns?
Oh, 5.07. Almost there.
Wow.
That's what I got. 507. Close.
And you see that was a 5.07. I wanted so bad to get under 5, and I was very close. Although mechanically, I'm not a sprinter. I've never tried, I've never practiced. And with a bit of training, let's say I could get down to 4.8, like the experts say. In the 2024 draft class, that would be number 1 amongst offensive guard, number 1 amongst centers, and number 1 amongst defensive tackles. I would be the fastest person over 300 pounds in the 2024 draft class. But more important and more relevant are how can you sprint and how can you change direction? And this is tested in what's called a 5-10-5 shuttle. The 5-10-5 has you start in the middle, you run 5 yards to the right, go back 10 yards to the left, and come back to return to the starting position. I did this about 18 months ago with Taylor, who is a professional women's hockey player. We did this with laser timers as well. There's no funny business, stopwatches going on. So go ahead and let's check out that footage from when I did the 5-10-5. Again, with no training and totally on a whim, in my running shoes, I did a 4.49. I'm going to say I could train this to be a 4.3 with a little bit of technique work, a little bit of practice, and cleats that actually gripped into the ground. At a 4.3, I would have the best time amongst offensive guards, with 4.49 ironically tying my current time being the fastest time amongst 2024 offensive guards. I would be number 1 amongst centers who have a best time of 4.51, and I would be number 1 amongst defensive tackles who have the best time of 4.34. So 40-yard dash and the 5-10-5 shuttle, I would be the fastest guy in both of those categories in this draft class. Now, another test is the vertical jump. This is a very difficult one for larger men, and it tests the, obviously, explosion of the legs. And can you explode into an opponent? An indirect indicator of how well you might be able to do that. I did this at the University of Texas only a couple of weeks ago, and here is the footage from my vertical jump.
With your left hand, you're just going to walk through and hit one of those. Yep. All right. So, what's your on a blue one? So his reach height was 95. Okay. There we go.
Like age group?
Yeah.
You wanna go high?
I think. What do you think?
What's that?
How's your jump?
That's fine.
We can go. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go one up. All right, so we're gonna do 3 attempts.
Yep.
Okay. So you're gonna get set in one motion. Down, bring those arms back. Explode up at the highest range.
What's the red one at the top?
I would have to. Don't read it there.
The stuff like it matters to me like completely. I can't. No. Then we get those out the way and I can try and
Yep. So. Right. You count that one, she hit it. Alright, last attempt. Try to get a little bit lower, a little bit more energy exploding out. That's nice job. Alright.
Right. 30 inches. 30 inches would be well above average NFL offensive line. Best was 36 inches this year. Time will tell. For offensive line, yeah. So with a result of 29 inches, this is good, but not outstanding. Although I learned the challenges and I learned the tricks from the University of Texas professors afterwards. There's a way that you can hold your shoulder to get a couple of extra inches from the vertical jump and without training. So I'm going to say I could go from 29 inches to 34 inches if I employed a little bit of tactics, a little bit of strategy. As you guys know, I am apt to do. And at 34 inches, vertical jump, I would be number 1 amongst defensive tackles who have a best vertical jump of 34 inches. I'd be number 1 amongst centers who have a best vertical jump of 32.5 inches. And I would be 4th amongst defensive tackles who have a best vertical jump of 36 inches. So this is all shaking out pretty well. And we get to probably the most iconic NFL test when it comes to strength athletes. And this is the 225 bench press. Now, funny enough, this is the only one that I haven't done to maximum failure. The closest indicator I have is I've done 315 for 21 reps over in Amsterdam when we were touring European gyms. This is going to correlate to a 225 about 35 reps. This is without any additional training. Now, I'm taking into account, if I did train for the NFL, I wouldn't be training to get stronger. So let's just say I got a little bit more muscular endurance, I didn't get stronger, and I was able to hold that 35 reps. This would put me number 1 amongst offensive guards at 33 reps as their current best, number 1 amongst centers with 29 reps as their current best, and number 1 amongst defensive tackles who have 29 reps as their current best. So in terms of physical qualities, in terms of athleticism, I would be right up there with anybody, really, when it comes to the 2024 draft class. And this means that I could definitely play. Sort of. There's a lot more that goes into being a professional athlete than just do you have the physical characteristics. Just the same way every rugby player can't play NFL and every strongman can't go into powerlifting. You have to learn the technique, you have to learn the playbook, you have to learn everything that goes into the sport to anticipate where you need to be, because you could be the fastest guy ever, you can be the strongest guy ever, but if you're caught out of position, you are going to be working an uphill battle. So, with that being said, Tom Brady had one of the worst combine performances on record and obviously went on to be the best football player of all time. This is only correlative and only predictive, not necessarily determinant. If we learn anything from Jordan Mailata, it says you could go from the best athlete to one of the best football players. And in a few short years, I think I could learn how to play football to the point that could get me to be on an NFL team. I did play in college. I quit because I just didn't have the love for the sport at the time that I wanted to. I wanted to focus on other things. Ultimately, that led me to being the number 1 strongman in the world. It's worked out fine. But maybe this is another career option for me. Maybe this is another avenue that I could try at some point down the line. Go ahead, pop in the comments what you think. Could I potentially make a transition, go into the NFL? Tag your favorite NFL team. Share this to the NFL teams. Share this to your favorite NFL player. And maybe I could get a try. Maybe I could go to an NFL combine and prove what I could do. But for now, I'm just going to continue lifting heavy, being kind, and making YouTube videos. Go ahead, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and until tomorrow, lift heavy and be kind.